Then Grendel departed to seek out, after the night had fallen, that high house, how the Ringdanes had occupied it after their beer-taking. He discovered therein a company of noblemen slumbering after their feast. They knew no sorrow, no misery of mankind. That wicked creature, grim and greedy, was instantly ready, savage and severe, and he snatched up 30 thanes from their rest. From there he soon departed, exulting in his spoils, venturing back to his home, seeking out his lair glutted by sorrow. It was in the dark before dawn, the earliest morn, when Grendel's savage strength was revealed to men. Then a great cry was heaved up after the banquet, a mighty clamor at morning. The famous prince, a noble tested true, sat unblithe, suffering powerfully, enduring the tearing away of his thanes. Afterwards they looked upon the trace of that loathed one, that accursed ghast. That struggle was too strong, hateful and long-lasting, and it was no longer a time than the next night when Grendel did it all again, more violent killing, mourned it not, feud or felony. He was too imbrued in them. Then it was too easy to find those seeking a roomier rest elsewhere, their bed in the outbuildings, when it became signified, said soothly, as a manifest token, the hatred of the hall stalker. Afterwards, he who wished to escape from the fiend held himself aloof, farther and faster from the hall. So ruled Grendel, and struggled against the right, alone against all, until the best of halls stood idle. The time was great, a season of 12 winters, that the friend of the Shieldings suffered misery, every woe, the broadest of sorrows. Therefore it became an open secret to men, to the sons of humanity, through miserable songs, that Grendel struggled a long time against Hrothgar, wearing malicious hatred, felony and feud for many long years, a perpetual strife. He wished for no accord with any man among the host of the Danes, to turn aside the soul-slaying or settle it with payment. Nor need any of the counselors expect to receive bright gifts from the hands of a killer. Yet the monster was persecuting young and old in the dark shadow of death, lurking and entrapping them. In endless night he ruled the misty moors, and men cannot know whither hellish demons glide in their orbits. So many enormities the enemy of mankind, loathsome long-stalker, often perpetrated, a shaming more severe. He inhabited Heorot, the deer-studded hall by the darkest night. But he might never approach that gift seat or its treasures because of the Measurer. He did not know his love. That was a mighty rack for the Shielding's friend, a breaking of his heart. Often many sat, the capable at council, stewing upon a course what best to do against the much-spirited terror. Sometimes they offered at heathen fanes, honoring wooden gods, worshipping wordfully, so that the soul-slayer might give solace in the people's peril. Such was their custom, their heathenish hope. They remembered hell in their inner hearts. They knew not the Measurer, the Deemer of deeds, nor did they know Lord God. Indeed, nor could they praise the helmet of heaven, the sovereign of glory. Woe to those who must, through glowering malice, shove down their souls into the fathoming fire, who must not expect comfort or one jot of change. It will be well for those who are allowed after their death day to seek the Lord and beg protection in the Father's embrace. And so, Halfdane's sun perpetually boiled over these troubled times, nor could the wise warrior avert these woes. Too harsh was this affliction, loathsome and long-lasting, that had come upon his people, the malice-grim vengeance, the greatest of night terrors. From his homeland Higelac's Thane had heard, good among the Geats, about the deeds of Grendel. He was the strongest of power among mankind in those days of this life, noble and well grown. He ordered an excellent wave glider readied for himself. He stated that he wished to seek the War King across the Swan Road, the famous prince who stood in need of men. Wise retainers approached him but little amongst about that mission, though he was loved by them, whetting his mighty spirit and peering at the portents. This outstanding hero had chosen champions from the Geatis tribe, from those he found keenest for battle. One of some 15 men seeking the Surgewood, the warrior leading the way, a sea-crafty man to the limit of the shore. The time went forth. The ship was upon the waves, the boat under the sea cliffs. The warriors made ready, mounting the prow. The currents wound about, stream against the sand. The soldiers carried onto the lap of the ship bright treasures and magnificent weapons. Then men shoved out, warriors on their wonted journey, the wood tightly bound. Then it departed over the seas, hurried by the wind, afloat foamy-necked, very much like a bird, until about the same time on the second day, the world prow had traversed the distance, so that the sailors saw land, the shining sea cliffs, the steep hills and the broad promontories. The sea crossing was sailed, their voyage had ended. Thence they went swiftly, heroes of the Wader Geats, descended onto dry land, restraining the seawood, battle sarks resounding, their war weavings. They thanked God that the wave path was easy for them. Then from the wall the shielding warden spotted them, who must keep watch over the wave cliffs, saw bright bosses borne down the gangway, gear for an army ready for deployment. The desire broke him, in his mind thoughts, to know what men these were. Then he turned himself to the shore, riding his horse, the Thane of Hrothgar, shaking forcefully, strong spearwood in his hand, inquiringly with carefully chosen words. "Who are you, armor-bearing men, bolstered in your byrnies, who come leading this steep ship over the sea streets, hither over the waves? For a long while I have been the border guardian, holding shore watch, that no one hated by the Danes could harm us by land with a shipborne force. Never more brazenly have shield-havers landed here. You all know nothing of the leave words of our war makers, no covenant from my kinsmen. Never have I seen a greater noble warrior upon the earth than that one of your number, a man in his war weaving. He is no backbencher worthy with weapons. May his singular aspect, his mighty bearing never betray him. Now I must be advised of your origins, before you proceed further, lying observers maybe to the land of the Danes, going from here. Now you far dwellers, sea sailors, heed my fixed request. To hurry is best, revealing whence you have come.